Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I am back again with another commentary. I want to talk about something today, and I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to reply in the comments. Can ESL, Competitive Guns of Boom, succeed without auto aim in competitive Guns of Boom? And the reason I'm asking this question is today, Boy Scout, he is literally the source on all things Guns of Boom competitive or Guns of Boom Esports. He is the source. um, eh, well, I guess he's good at retweeting the source or tweeting out what's going on. And so shout out to Boy Scout. But he tweeted today that there are 29 teams that have signed up for Europe, 13 for the US, and 10 for each of the other ones. And so that's a total of there's 63 teams or 62 teams that have signed up to play for $500,000 in season 2. Now, how come when there's, you know what? I don't even want to compare. I was going to compare Guns of Boom to Call of Duty. But I don't want to get caught in the comparison trap because Call of Duty has been around for a lot longer than Guns of Boom, is a ridiculously world-renowned successful franchise, was the #1 selling game in the world year after year after year. And so, but let me say this is where this argument comes from, or this question that I'm asking about, can ESL survive without auto-aim? I would assume that Game Insight wants more teams than 60 to be signed up competing for this $500,000. The more people that compete, the more people are going to stream, the more people are going to make YouTube videos, the more people that are going to tweet, the more people that are going to talk about it, and it's just going to grow the community, grow the brand, grow the game. And Game Insight and Guns of Boom can do what they want to do, which is really put a foothold for mobile esports into the global and grand scheme of competitive gaming. And I really feel like Guns of Boom is the game to do it. I've said that, and I'm going to keep saying it. There's something unique, there's something special about this game. But we all know that in a few months, supposedly, this game called Call of Duty is going to be released onto our cell phones. And I think that any game that is a first-person shooter, Bullet Force, Critical Ops, all these games that compete with the Call of Duty style of gameplay. Look at what happened this year to PUBG when Blackout came out. Now, PUBG is still extremely successful, but Blackout did take some of their market share. I mean, for almost a good month, Shroud was streaming Blackout rather than PUBG. And I mean, that's just promotion, and marketing. And so for Guns of Boom, for their players, for the people that play the game, for the people that put it on YouTube, for the people that talk about it on Twitter now, which is the most amazing thing I've ever seen, this community growing on Twitter, because I've been on Twitter with Call of Duty for 8 years or so. It's amazing to see, and it's amazing to watch. And I still am afraid, and I still wonder if we're going to be able to push through. This year is the year. This is 2019. I mean, Guns of Boom's pulling out all the stops, trying to get on that main stage at IEM. And I would imagine that as much as Guns of Boom can probably afford to be on that stage, that it's still up in the air whether or not they're going to be on that large stage. I mean, I'm sure they'll be at IEM Expo, but that granddaddy of stages, I would love to see it. I think it would be one of the greatest things for mobile esports if, Lazarus was playing against whoever. There's a debate about that on Twitter, about who they're going to be playing against, but we haven't even seen any gameplay yet for this season. It starts Saturday, by the way. So, I honestly believe that it's one of the problems we've seen in Call of Duty. And there's this problem that we've seen in Call of Duty where people don't watch the gameplay as much. They don't when it's live, when it's being streamed. There's been Call of Duties where people didn't watch as much. And one of the reasons that came out of discovery for the developers was because the game that they were watching was not the game that they were playing. And the reality of competitive Guns of Boom is the game that you watch is not the game that you play, because all the weapons are equal. So the pro players use weapons that you wouldn't really want to use in regs. You know, like it's funny that after Los Angeles, after the season 1 finals, everybody jumps on Guns of Boom and is playing with avalanches and scouts in it and buying incinerators because that's what the pro players were using. And the reality is they didn't realize that the pro players were playing within the confines of pro play, which is different. Now, Guns of Boom is very smart. And I think that one of the smartest moves they made, I still think it was a smart try, was coming out with that Pro Challenge Brawl. I still don't have my auto aim back on. I turned it off to play that. I mean, of course, I didn't have to turn it off, but it was off in that brawl. And then I turned it off and played regs during the brawl because I wanted to practice with no auto aim. And I had a great time playing without auto aim. I mean, the number of people that were bad at playing without auto aim helped me to average probably about 2 more kills than I normally do. And on top of that, the Pro Play Brawl, they did it at a time where they knew the season was going to be launching a week or 2 after that brawl was over. What a genius plan. Like, just, that's so smart. And unfortunately, I don't know if it worked. Maybe it worked to gain some fans, I don't know, but the reality of it is people thought it was really hard. And I mean, they must have, because some of the kills I was getting in the Pro Play challenge, people were struggling, and then there was a good number of people that were like, oh, I could do this. And they probably did net a number of teams, but the EU started with 32 teams last year in season 1. And season 2 is starting right now with 29. As of Saturday, it'll probably have about 5 to 10 more. So maybe they had a net gain overall of maybe 20 teams, and maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's enough, but I would imagine it's not. I would imagine that if I'm Stannis and if I'm the developers, if I'm Game Insight, I want 100 teams. And I honestly believe that that's possible. But the only way it's possible, and I hate to say it, I'm sorry pro players, I'm sorry those of you that disagree with me, but is the elimination of no auto aim for competitive Guns of Boom. I asked Jen this question the other day. I just said, hey, do you think Guns of Boom can survive with the game being different when you play competitively than it is when you play regs? And he said no, he doesn't think so. And I don't think so either. So if you guys have suggestions, let me know in the comments. Like, what can Guns of Boom do? And yes, I know, get rid of hackers and provide chat for iOS. I agree 100%. I play on iOS and I hate that I can't chat. That was one of the coolest things ever, when I could get on the game and type in the chat. And when I was in a clan and I could type to my clan mates and all that kind of stuff. Like, because I was already upset that I couldn't communicate with people that I was playing with at all. But the fact that I could get in a group and at least chat with my group was pretty cool. We'd say GGs and we had fun. We built relationships. You got to know people, and now you have to use Discord. So I know that that's a challenge. I know that for some of you, hackers are a challenge. I don't run into a lot of hackers, but I know that for some of you, hackers are a challenge. And probably at the lower levels, that might be true. I'm halfway through level 49 right now. Yay. I'm about to hit level 50. I'm excited. I just hit 25k trophies and I hit 50 hours played, or 50 days. Wait, 50 days? Is that? Wait a minute. That can't be right. I've played 50 days of Guns of Boom. Doesn't that sound like a lot? 50 days. Well, I know it's more than 50 hours, so, but it can't be 50 days. Have I played for 5 days? Man, I'm tripping. I'm like 50 days. I'm like, I'm not my crop. So I've played for 5 days. 1.39. My KD dropped by 0.01. I'm so sad. I wanted a 1.4 when I hit 50. I guess I could still raise it up. I just got to stay back and snipe for the next like 20 games until I get to level 50. But nevertheless, you guys tell me in the comments, like, what are your thoughts? Like, what can Guns Boom do? What can Game Insight do to make this game what we all want to see, like, and what we want to experience, which is great competition at a high level for as many people as possible. Nevertheless, this is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.